You know, when a person mentions the word deer hunting to me and say, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It wouldn't be bow hunting. And don't get me wrong, I love to bow hunt. And as most of y'all saw a couple of weeks ago, I was able to take a really nice a buck with my bow, and I usually do. I usually get a nice buck with my bow every year and a few does. So I enjoy bow hunting. But when you just say the word deer season and say, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It would be gun season, because that's tradition. That, to me, that is the true deer season, is being out there with a gun, enjoying that November or that cold weather. That's how we grew up doing it. That's how I grew up doing it. And many of y'all are the same way. I'm sure that many of y'all have the same background as I do, you know, going out with your dad at 6, 7 years old and just following in his footsteps, and then getting to hunt when you're, you know, up in age. I know for me, I think the first year I actually deer hunted with a weapon when I was 11 years old. And I remember I had a single shot 20 gauge with a slug in it, and I didn't kill a deer that year. I missed one that year, and I remember I just felt so bad about it, felt like I just disappointed everybody. But I remember, you know, my heart racing when I missed that deer. And the next year, I killed my first one. I upgraded to a 30-30, Marlin 30-30, and I'll never forget that deer. I'll never forget, you know, staying out of school. And you know, back then, my parents, they'd allow me to stay out of school for the first 3 or 4 days of rifle season, and you know, and then go back on the 4th or 5th day or whenever, and your teacher say, you know, where was you at? And you say, I was out of town. And it wasn't a lie, because you was out of town, but you was about 30 miles out of town. You know, I remember that, did that for years. But I'll never forget that Monday, you know, staying out of school and that little doe, you know, it's about 70-pound doe, and walking down a little ridge, coming right, 3 of them, coming right down to me, looking through the scope, and I don't even remember pulling the trigger, to be honest. I was so nervous. And when I shot, that doe just dropped right where she was at. And I was so nervous, I was so shaken that I had to have help. My dad had to help me get out of the tree stand because I was shaking so bad. And then the next year, I killed my first buck. You know, it was a 6-point buck. And that's special, you know, just special. So it's moments like that that make you who you are as a deer hunter. So all the memories and the little things we do that gets us ready for rifle season. I know around my house, you know, it's on Friday night fixing a big pot of chili, and I got some in there right now as we're getting ready to eat. And then on Saturday morning, getting up early, you know, I get up about 3:30 and fix a big breakfast, and then go out, you know, head out about 5 o'clock, and the daylight coming over the horizon, and man, you just hear the guns start popping, and every little noise you hear, every little squirrel that's going through the leaves, man, your heart just races, or bird, you know, whatever, because you're just thinking any moment that big buck that you're hunting can be, you know, is going to be pushed off, you know, your neighbors onto you, and man, it's all of that makes us the deer hunter that we are. And sadly, that's disappearing. All that's disappearing because we're too hung up on score, and we're too hung up on shooting the right buck and shooting the, you know, that's too small, that's too big, whatever the case. You know, man, we ought to get back to the traditions of it. You know, the little things that mean a lot. Going out with your mom, your dads, or your grandpas, or your uncles, you know, friends at deer camp. Going out and leaning over the hood of your truck every single eve before rifle season. Even though you know your scope's dead on, you still got to go out there and shoot at least once, just to make sure. And I did that today. It's the little things like that. That's memories that you make. And I don't want to lose that. And so, I just never got caught up in that hype of, I got to shoot the biggest deer, I got to shoot this, I got to shoot that. I want to be out there to enjoy myself. I love rifle season. And the next few weeks, to me, that's the true deer season. And so here we are on the eve of another gun season starting. I'm getting ready to go eat supper and then come out and build a fire and sit around the fire and talk about deer hunting. And you know, go to bed and get up and start it all over again for another year, and I'll do it till the day I die, because it's who I am. And that's, I never want to lose that. So you come along with me on this rifle season, whether it ends tomorrow with a big buck, or whether I have to grind it out all week and then shoot one and then go to the next state. I don't know. That's the thrill of it. You just don't know. But you come along with me and enjoy tradition of American deer hunting. Ain't nothing like it. Good morning. It's rifle season 2019. Here we are, opening day, and headed to our little 17 acres down here. But it's a buck funnel, and it's got some nice bucks coming through it this year, so hopefully they'll be coming through there this morning. I'm after a big 8-pointer or a 10, or maybe even a bigger one, maybe one I haven't seen, I don't know. But I know there's a big 8 and there's a really nice 10-pointer in there, and either one of them deer would be fine for an opening day deer. We're just gonna get in here and set probably all day if we have to. Hope we don't. I hope we don't have to set all day, but you know, opening day, you know, you got a lot of pressure, especially down here where I'm at. We're gonna have pressure on kind of to the north of us property and the side of us property. So we get here, and hopefully our hunting buddies that we may not know, that's on the other side of the fence, pushes them to us. That's kind of what I'm hoping. We'll get down to some thick stuff, and right on the fence line. You know, it's right on the fence line of the property adjoining. We're going to get just back off the fence into some kind of thick, nasty stuff that's, you're not going to be able to shoot very far, but it seems like that's where all the signs leading to. And so we're just going to get in there and sit, and hopefully one comes through there, and we'll see you in the woods. Sitting up here on the fence line, like we talk about. I'm probably about 35, 40 yards off the fence, and there's nobody hunting around though. I'm not interfering in nobody, because there's nobody over here on the fence line. In front of me is just a bunch of growed up old high grass in a field. Down here to my left is a bunch of briars and thickets and bedding. So just kind of waiting for the deer to be pushed down this grass and down this funnel or down this thicket. The shot's going to be pretty close. I mean, you know, can't really see past about 60, 70 yards. But I chose to set here because of the pressure that's up here we got about 3 or 4 hunters. There's always hunts up here to our right, just over the fence, probably about 200 yards. And we got some hunters out in front of us about probably 500, 600 yards across that field. And some kind of behind us about 200, 300 yards. So, I mean, they're not hunting with me, but I'm the only one in here. But they're my hunting buddies today, because they usually push the deer down this funnel. So, boy, it always gets exciting when you hear the first shots of the morning. I heard one way off just about 5 minutes ago. There's another one right there, way off. So, well, you know, when the shots start, you know it's on. And every little sound, you just, you know, most of the time it's a squirrel or something, but you're just looking. Well, you're just, especially when you're, you know, hunting kind of thick stuff like this. You gotta really be on your guard. You can't be having your gun hung up on your limb. You gotta have it right here on your lap, and just be ready, because you never know. One bounce through here, maybe the buck you're after. So sit back and enjoy the morning. I just seen 2, 6:51. Just seen my first 2 deer, a doe and a little buck. Couldn't tell much what he was, but he didn't look that big. Well, she come running through here, and he was right behind her grunting. I heard him grunting before I ever saw him. I just heard a deer grunt down there. Looked, and well, here she comes. She comes flying through here. She jumped that fence and went through that field, and he was right behind her. Well, it's about 9 o'clock. Seen one other buck. It's getting a little bit cold. That wind's getting a little bit, getting my ears cold. Going to change over to this toboggan. If I don't see nothing by 11:30, I'm probably going to get down and go up here on top of the hill where my bow stand, where I bow hunted, and I got my trail camera up there, and I haven't checked it, for about a week. So I'm gonna pull the card and take it out to the Jeep and just kind of sit there and go through it and see what's come through in the last week, and eat a quick bite, and then I'm gonna ease back in here, and so I ain't gonna be gone too long. And then you gotta remember though, especially opening day and the first couple of days when a lot of people are out hunting, you've got hunting pressure. So around 10:30, 11, people's fingers and feet and toes, they start getting cold, and so a lot of guys will get up and move out, go out to eat a quick bite to lunch, and they come back in around 2:30 or 3. And a lot of times, right in the middle of the day, when people are going out of here, they're just kicking the deer back up. And when they're coming back in, they kick something up. So that's why it's important to hang in there all day if you can, especially the first 2 days. First 2 or 3 days of season, you need to stay as much as possible. Let's get settled back in. I went up top of the hill and got that camera card, took it out to the vehicle and checked it, and sure enough, this big 8-pointer, look at him. He was through here this morning, or last night, well, this morning early. He was in here this morning. So,
Matt. Matt.
yes, nice buck, beautiful buck. Shot him right here at 15 yards. Grunted, just grunting. I got it on my GoPro and my Tacticam. I didn't get it on the big camera because he was right here. Jason, I couldn't get this arm around, but I think I got it on both cameras, so it should be real good because it was close. Beautiful buck, beautiful. I think he's that big 8-pointer. Man, I heard that thing like 30 minutes ago grunting back here, and I knew it was a deer grunting. He just kept grunting. I swear, man, I hit that grunt call, but he was chasing this other buck around. All right, get down to him. Well, I had to go drag the deer. Went over in this field and fell. So we can't hunt over there. We got permission that you know, we've had an understanding for years with this guy that, you know, we can go over and get a deer, so I didn't have to worry about calling him or nothing, but oh, I had to go in these high weeds over here and get him. Well, let's go see him. This is my big 8 that I've been wanting so bad. Get some of this stuff out of the way here. Look at that. Boy, ain't that pretty. I seen this buck back in bow season, and he slipped by me, and been getting him on camera quite a bit. And that's the one I had my heart set on for rifle season, because I just love these big 8-pointers. Man, he was chasing that doe around, and that little buck come underneath me because he was chasing that buck around, that little buck. And then, you know, I heard that buck, or I heard one of them grunt about an hour ago down there. And I knew that was a deer grunting, so I got my grunt call out and I grunted a little bit. And nothing happened, but then about 30 minutes later I kept hearing them grunts. Then I heard them chasing. I know there was a buck in there chasing a doe, I thought. But he was running that little buck's what it was. And he had that doe with him. He was guarding that doe. Girl got him in trouble. And then I heard this and grunt. And you can just tell he has a deep. When I first heard that first deer grunt, I thought it was a doe or a young buck. And it probably was that little forked horn. And then I heard this and boy, I knew there was a nice buck. I just couldn't see him because of all that thick stuff, and he was going through that thick stuff. And finally, she come down in front of me. It's about a 15-yard shot. Well, praise you, Jesus. Well, I'm gonna have an expensive taxidermist bill this year. Boy, look at his neck. He's just rutted like crazy. But yeah, I have to definitely gonna have to put this one on the wall too. You know that oh, let me sit down here a minute. That little buck was going through here, and I just thought, man, I seen him. I figured that was that 8-pointer because I just seen his one side, and I just, you know, I thought, oh man, that big 8-pointer. And yeah, you know, this funnel's been so good this year. I killed that big one with a bow, and now this one, and well, I tell you, it's hard to beat when you find years like this that, you know, they're just moving in here. And 17 acres in here, that's all. We got a lot of hunting pressure on this side, a lot of hunting pressure over there this morning. And so, you know, this is a nice buck for this area, and really for anywhere, but especially this area. You know, if you lived in Iowa or Illinois or something, you may pass a deer like that, but not me. Not on 17 acres in a high pressured place. Nope. Somebody else shot. See, hunting pressure. Well, thank you, Jesus. We're gonna get him out and try to get some better pictures and video tomorrow. Well, here we are the next day. It was getting dark last night. We got this sucker out. It was 6:30 by the time we drug him out. It's a long drag. But, whew, I think he got the last laugh because I'm down on my hip today. You know, I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can't drag and like I used to when I was back in living in Virginia and dragging them straight up a mountain. But anyways, he's a nice buck as you can see. But just wanted to give y'all a better look at this beautiful 8-point buck. Like I said, I've been hunting him since bow season. This deer was 25 yards from me on October the 12th, and I knew when he was that close, and I was full draw, and I just couldn't. He just wouldn't stand there long enough for me to get a clear shot. But a month later, we meet again on different terms, right? But I could have bow shot him because he's 15 yards from me, as you saw in the kill scene. But anyway, I just wanted to give y'all a quick look at him, and ain't much more I can say, but just thank you, Lord, right? Make sure to subscribe to this video, and appreciate everybody that follows me here. And just remember to be safe out there this deer season. Check out the website, and also check me out on Facebook. Just click on the links in the description, and then also remember to send me your deer pics. I'd like to see your pictures too. Thank y'all for following me, and hope you enjoyed the video.